Last month, Assam received 30% less rainfall than the normal. At the same time, the state faced its worst floods in over 6 decades, with over 100 people losing their lives and over 2 lakh people being displaced. That sounds strange and contradictory, no? I'm Lavanya, and in this episode of The Climate Brief by Zerodha, we are breaking down what happened in Assam. By the time this video goes live, the situation should have improved. But we are going beyond the headlines. We are trying to understand why these floods were unusual, how Assam's geography played a role, and whether this is the unfortunate new normal. Before we get into why 2026 was unusual, we need to understand why Assam floods in the first place. It all starts with its geography. Imagine Assam as a giant bowl. On almost every side, it is surrounded by hill states, with Bhutan and Arunachal Pradesh to the north, Nagaland to the east, and Meghalaya to the south. Assam itself sits in a relatively low-lying plain, so whenever it rains in any of these surrounding hills, gravity does its job and water naturally flows downhill into Assam. In short, it doesn't have to rain heavily in Assam for the state to flood. Now, Assam has 2 major river valleys, the Brahmaputra Valley in the north and the Barak Valley in the south, separated by the hills of Karbi Anglong and Dima Hasao. And almost every river flowing through Assam feeds into these systems. The Brahmaputra itself starts its journey on the Tibetan plateau, enters India through Arunachal Pradesh, and then flows into Assam. Along the way, it is fed by around 120 tributaries and distributaries. Every monsoon, these rivers collect water from the surrounding hills and send it right into the Brahmaputra. But the river has another problem: sediments. It carries 700 to 800 million tons of sediment every year, making it one of the most sediment-heavy rivers in the world. As it enters the Assam plains, the river slows down and the sediment settles down. Over time, it makes the river shallower and shallower and makes it easier and easier for water to spill beyond the banks. And this is what makes it one of India's most flood-prone states, with nearly 40% of its land vulnerable to flooding, compared to a national average of 12%. So yes, flooding is part of Assam's geography. Every year, some part of the state or the other gets flooded. The most recent one was in 2024, where 2.5 million people were displaced. But July 2026 was different. Here's the story you don't see. Number 1, the monsoon paradox. As we saw in chapter 1, whether Assam floods or not is not dependent only on how much it rains in Assam. Rains in the other northeastern states also impact Assam. This year, the rainfall in the northeast was not evenly distributed. Climate change is making the monsoon more erratic, while El Niño influenced rainfall patterns this year, contributing to this unusual mix of dry periods and extreme rainfall. Between July 18th and July 20th, Nagaland witnessed extraordinary rainfall. Across the state, rainfall was 181% above normal, while Mokochung district recorded 493% excess rainfall. Because Nagaland sits much higher than Assam, all that water rushed downhill through rivers and streams into the plains of Upper Assam. During the same 3-day period, districts in Upper Assam like Saraideo received 436% above normal rainfall, while Shivsagar recorded 104% above normal. So these districts were getting water from 2 directions at once. Intense rainfall locally and huge volumes of water flowing in from upstream. The rainfall in Nagaland caused tributaries to swell rapidly, crossing the danger mark before the Brahmaputra reached its peak. By the time all this water reached the main river, the Brahmaputra was already under immense pressure and just couldn't take any more. Water backed up into the tributaries, overflowing into villages, roads, and farmland. And that is how parts of Upper Assam which has been less prone to flooding than the other parts, ended up at the center of the disaster in Assam this year. Number 2, human activities. Rainfall may have triggered this year's floods, but we cannot ignore the role human activities played in making this so much more destructive. Experts say this is one of the biggest environmental challenges in Upper Assam. Along the Assam-Nagaland border, years of mining have damaged the soil's ability to absorb or soak up rainwater. And so much water rushes downhill much faster and carries mud, rocks, all of it right into the tributaries. Assam is emerging as one of eastern India's fastest growing industrial hubs, but expanding towns, shrinking wetlands, deforestation, and encroachments along riverbanks have reduced the landscape's natural ability to manage floods and absorb floodwater. Number 3, aging and weakened flood defenses. Assam has nearly 4,000 kilometers of embankments which were built to stop rivers from entering villages. But many, built in the 1950s, are aging and unable to cope with rising water levels and increasing water pressure, leading to these getting breached. Now that we understand all these reasons, let's come to the most important question. If you've come this far, you should know that Assam cannot prevent flooding, but experts say it can reduce how destructive these floods become. First, better forecasting and early warning systems which have real-time rainfall data can ensure quick action, informing communities in advance and shifting from rescue to preparedness. Second, it's time to rethink flood management. This includes regularly desilting the Brahmaputra and its tributaries and strengthening the aging embankments. Also, restoring wetlands and preserving floodplains can slow the runoff and absorb excess water. Third, and most important, crack down on illegal mining, deforestation, river encroachments, and unplanned constructions on floodplains. By the time this video goes live, we sincerely hope that the situation in Assam has improved. Please comment, like, and share this video so people truly understand the full story behind Assam's devastating disaster.